Hello, everybody, and we are back for yet another episode. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. As you can see, we're all dressed up, different thing because it's gonna be our last
Sean.
episode before Halloween, and
Boom.
so
Normal for
none of
me.
us have
Got the
changed our
leather.
clothes all
Got the
month.
leather.
But yeah, and you'll notice up above we've got Jeremy is now back with us after what I would say was an absolutely incredible show of rendition
Stop!
seminar.
Go on.
So good. So
It was
good.
good. It was very good.
Weren't you telling me, Jeremy, it was only the second time seminar has been produced in
In the state of Utah.
In the state of Utah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was.
Yeah, it's a really great show. But it kind of gets passed over a lot because it's very dialogue heavy. And if you don't have a cast that can do just dialogue and entertain people, then it's not a great show still.
Yeah, it was.
I think we did okay.
Yeah.
You did fantastic.
It was awesome.
Thank you, dear.
Absolutely loved it.
Your check is in the mail there, Nikki. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll return it. I don't need it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I can't stop looking at Sean's costume. I love it so much.
It's so great. Oh
I
my
feel the
gosh.
pressure of 1,000 eyes, all from within this room.
well,
Luckily,
okay,
with those
probably-
goggles, you can cover 500 in one direction and 500 in the other.
Exactly. No blind spots.
But yeah, before we get into it, just a couple of announcements. So you'll notice that off schedule, this last Thursday, there was not an Auroran Expounded episode. Wasn't able to fully finish it because of just busy day job stuff kind of getting in the way. But to make up for that, the next episode of Auroran Expounded is coming this next Thursday. And then to get back on schedule, the following Thursday after will be another episode. So so keep your eye out for that. Another thing is I'm starting the streaming of my brand of streaming stuff, which usually ends up being random challenge runs in game. So doing yet another Elden Ring challenge run. If you want to see me on there, over at g.va, that's g_dot_va. And then as always, as time goes on, you can always see if you can catch the Paragon playing Baldur's Gate 3 live over on Andrew's streaming.
Also, I'll
channel.
be doing a lot more like brain dead streams of I'm just gonna play this game and I don't have brain capacity. So come join me and we can get up to some fun shenanigans with that.
Also, once again, our Discord is now fully set up, and we'll start providing a link to that in the description, as well as you get special Discord privileges if you support us on Patreon, including things like possibly playing games with either me or any of the other cast members if we're on there, and just other random chats and live chats, things like that. And then I will send it over to Andrew for our for any other announcements and or sponsors.
That looked like it wasn't even my hand.
Erica.
Yeah, so just our normal announcements. Remember to check out our merch store at D-Fourtress.com. There's no dash in the URL, so just DFOURTRESS.com. We're ready to take on orders. Everything's made custom, and most of the artwork is done by our lovely Erica, who has currently, get closer to the camera. You got to show everybody the webs. Look at that. She's got bedazzled webs on her face, and they're kind of awesome.
Can't see them very well in the light because they're all glowy. so they just kind of blend in with the light.
But they're awesome. And then also just a shout out to our sponsors, We Geek Together. Check them out at wegeektogether.org. They always have fun events and things going on in the community. So just check their event page, and they got stuff for like date night kind of things. Pick up D&D games, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, etc., 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 etc. They got a fun little gaming tavern set up in the Southtown Mall in Provo. So if you're in Utah, definitely go check them out and tell them that we sent you there. And yeah, that's all I have for announcements.
Alrighty, and I believe that covers it for my end of things too. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, roll the intro. Alrighty, so welcome back. Last time we left off, the Paragon had disembarked on the train, gathered things to make their way through the saltlands, such as spike spouts for water, gathered intel from a madman who seemed to have multiple personality disorder, and a man by the name of Old Man Durgit. And upon tracking down what was known as the Stockton Gang, managed to mostly safely cross the desert, finding evidence of purple worms, surviving a salt twister. But eventually, you made your way to the encampment of the Stockton Gang, and you learned that they were pretty much stranded there. And after a brief encounter, knocking one of the members unconscious, and then Wayne Vivi casting a spell to incapacitate majority of the gang with a hypnotic gaze.
Good job, Vivi.
Pattern.
Hypnotic pattern.
Oh,
I mean, his gaze is pretty hypnotic
You're
too.
muted, Jeremy. You're
Oh,
still
Jeremy,
muted.
we can't hear you.
Still are.
You're still muted.
I can't hear you.
Where's Jeremy?
I said I find a lot of gays quite hypnotic, if you know what I mean.
And Artavan knocking another one unconscious, and then Wayne finally getting the rest of them to stand down after killing the leader of the gang, Elijah Stockton, in one fell swoop.
hit.
And then
So many.
with a
So
single
many
cast of a spell.
D6s.
So, upon that, you were able to defuse the situation and learned that the rest of the gang, except for the elf that was there, the elf and the leader Elijah Stockton, the rest of them were there against their will, basically being blackmailed into helping them with their work. learn that the Paragon, she had a little sister by the name of Yeza, whose sister was basically being held hostage in order to get the rest of the group to comply. And upon learning that the elf was part of a cult known as the Refounders, the very same cult that was working with the Mind Flayer Xylith, Yeza, the Harangon, decided to put an end to it herself, and with the permission of the party, executed the elf, and then braced the rest of the surviving members for the consequences of what they just did, saying, I guess we're going to prison then. And so, with Elijah Stockton and the elf known as Ethrin dead, the rest of you are out in the middle of the Saltlands, kind of on the edge, actually more on the edge of the Saltlands. I'm going to do a quick thing. You guys don't need to do it because I'm just for, you guys can just see it on the Zoom call. If I go to this right here, all the cameras are messed up. We're going to go to that. You guys are just on the edge of the Saltlands, on the edge of the Great Ravine. And so you are here. Each one of these squares is going to be about a day's travel. And you were tasked with bringing the group to a set of law offices, whether it be in Storysill, which Amelia has stated concern about returning to, or over down here in Clifftown. And also, along the way, the most important thing is you did manage to rescue the large and lazy mastiff that belonging to Old Man Durgit, known as Bosco.
Ah, Bosco.
Bear.
He's the size of a bear, according to Dirk.
And so with that, Paragon, what would you like to do? It is currently probably around noon in the day. You have cleared the camp. Artavan has already gone and pulled over Pepper the Axebeak with the cart.
Forgot his
Is
name was
there
Pepper.
enough room in the cart to fit everybody?
That is the question. How are we going to get everyone back?
There is, but it is shoulder to shoulder, really tight, not comfortable at all.
And is this including the corpse? 2 corpses?
These are not including the 2 corpses.
We're going to
I
take
thought we
just
were
their
gonna
heads
drag them
back.
behind.
Do we have proof of demise?
We cut their heads, right?
Oof.
You can. Their bodies are still intact at the moment.
Dark.
Elijah got pelted with a guiding bolt that sent him tumbling over himself. So he's got a few radiant burns. And then Ethrin was killed by Yeza shoving one of her arrowheads into his throat and letting him suffocate on the blood.
I mean, if we're short on space, it might make sense to just take the heads.
That's typically how you do bounty hunting. If they're dead.
Vivi is going
Oh,
to
dude.
do a little digging in the sand, in the clay, and he's gonna create a couple of graves so that we can at least bury the remains.
The salt.
Okay, yeah, it is.
I mean, it would be
He's
salt
curing
and
them.
sand, and clay, I assume.
Yeah,
Dry
it is-
aging.
where you're at, it is easy enough to do that. Gonna dry age the
We
corpses.
can come back 3 months from now and we have jerky.
Oh, elf jerky. Come
I
in,
don't
just
discriminate.
you all TPK come in as an entire party of orcs. I smell man flesh.
Man.
I smell man flesh.
Gosh.
And Gavin, are there any more carts or anything? I know they already lost all their axe beaks. That we saw them all dead. Is there anything left in the camp that we can use to transport anything? Or no?
They have some crates and stuff, and a wagon that is in pretty rough shape, but with a little bit of time and effort could be serviceable again. If you wanted to, you could fashion it into a hand cart. But most of the boxes and crates that were their food supplies and were running low. And you did manage to gather that the drunken dragonborn was their resident chef, who was still very much unconscious after taking a hammer to the face.
Can I want to start, I don't know, just looking around. I don't nothing particular. Amelia just wants to focus on something else besides what just happened.
Okay.
Very well.
As you're looking around, Amelia, it does seem like a place that if you were stuck out here by yourself, you'd probably go mad with the lack of significant scenery and, the dryness of everything. Other than seeing the beginnings of the Great Ravine to the southwest. It's a pretty featureless. The camp itself, its supplies were dwindling. Other than the equipment that the group has on them, there's not much to be had around.
I'm just gonna be looking at stuff, I guess.
She's looking at that bird over there.
Look at all those chickens.
So Wayne,
All right. Who's going to do the deed of taking the heads?
I got a couple daggers. I can if you need me to.
nose goes.
Cosmo seems like she wants to do it. I won't stand in the way.
No. But what you did was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. One shot. He's down. You're so powerful.
Thanks. I've been practicing.
Well,
Nice.
If no one feels comfortable with it, I can do it myself.
I can do it too. I don't mind.
Want to do
how
halvesies?
about Dante?
I'll get half of this one and half of this one, and then you get the other half.
So yeah, left half, left half.
Give it to
There we
him.
go.
We need to do this efficiently.
Let your blades meet in the middle like scissors.
It's a pretty dark topic.
I
I'm a
mean,
little disturbed about all of this.
I mean, the sun is out, so not really.
Hmm.
It is quite gruesome, yes, but it is efficient and I think in this case necessary.
we
Yeah,
don't
so I'm-
have much space to travel back, and this is one of the harshest environments. It makes the most sense to me.
How
Agreed.
does Amelia look with all that this talk?
Well, because she just seems to be trying to ignore you. I think she's trying to forget what just happened and how she felt during everything. She's just trying to calm herself down because it's just she wasn't expecting to
It's
be
it's a bit disturbing to me too, dear.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, Eric.
No,
Like
I was
I
just
just
No. I'm just gonna pull Cosmo aside and be like, "Hey, Cosmo, would you mind just distracting Amelia while we do this?"
Oh, okay, sure.
And then
Hey,
I'll take one of the bodies over to
you wanna-
Artavan.
You want to help me decide what to make next for our next meal? Because I don't
Oh.
think everyone wants pancakes all the time.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I mean, there's no meat around, but there is a lot of salt, so whatever I make is gonna probably be salty.
You could salt bake something if you've never tried that. It's not complicated.
What's that?
I guess she'll start telling you.
Yes. Yes.
Should
After
we?
the... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
all right, fine. I'm going.
Yeah.
After Vivi digs the graves, he and Princess will do a full camp-wide sweep for valuables.
Mm-hmm.
We actually did
at the end
that.
of last episode, Sean actually had to do that.
Yeah, because we know you.
Strike that from the record. Just the graves then.
Yeah, so the main thing that Princess did find is one of the reflective mirror style masks that the Refounders wore. So you now have a completely pristine, intact one of those.
Okay.
Helpful for later.
Is the campfire still going from where they had set up camp?
Yeah, it's on its last legs, but it's still crackling a little bit.
Okay. Hey, Artavan, maybe it might be a good idea to heat up the blades first, just so then that way we're not leaking any blood anywhere. Kind of solder off the wounds a little bit.
If you want to.
Yeah, just kind of get the blades red hot, so then that way it will kind of less leaking.
Right. There's you either have the leak or you have the smell. So it's either one. You choose your battles.
Well, I mean, BB's pretty good at getting rid of smells.
No, I mean, it's going to smell like the deliciously cooked meat. So some people might find that more disturbing than the blood, but it is true. It'll be less messy if we do cauterize it.
Yeah, let's get them hot first.
All right.
So yeah, we'll put the daggers in the coals to get them hot, and then do the deed, cut up the heads.
Yeah, no roll. It's easy enough. They're immobile. They don't have alien anatomy. So
And we're not trying to extract anything specific.
yeah, just the head.
Just trying to
Speak for
separate.
yourself.
Are the other
Checking
party
for
members
tadpoles.
coming willingly at this point? The other gang members?
Yes, they are. They seem to be following the Paragon Yeza's lead, the fighter, and she seems to be resigned to it.
Yeah, they don't want to get one shot either.
For their own well-being, Vivi gives each of them one of the spigots so that they can get water as they need it.
And
But just a single one each. That way they don't feel that they can run, as it were.
Yeah, they do nod an appreciation with it.
And Gavin, I forgot how we left off. Did we tie them up? Did we? Are they just all free right now? I forgot how we left off.
Everybody but Yeza and the unconscious Dragonborn tied up. So the halfling barbarian Reg is tied up, as well as the lizard folk druid, Lozo. Oh, and Gluto, the orc bard, is also untied at the moment.
Okay.
All right, just the ones that are untied then, that we're, I guess, trusting for the moment.
Yeah, they surrendered pretty quick after you guys kind of wiped the floor with them a little bit.
Yep.
That really was a satisfying hit, though.
It was.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
that
so
was really good.
satisfying.
Okay. So after we do that, cut off the heads and everything, I think I'd turn to the gang and just be like, I mean, as you can all imagine, there's not much we can do in the way of you going to prison. You guys have done very bad things. However, I think we all understand that you were kind of forced to be in that position. We do have some friends. Maybe we could put in a good word for you guys.
And they all kind of look at each other. And then Yeza's just like, I, for one, I'll go willingly with that in mind, and on one more condition. I need you to help my sister before anything is done to her.
You said that she was at the mayor's office, or the mayor's house, right?
No.
No.
No, there's a tax collector based in Ashwindale.
Tax collector.
He keeps, he likes to keep leverage and trophies, so to speak. I don't think even he knows what he's really involved with after that deranged monologue from Etherin, but yes, I'll go willingly under those conditions.
What's your sister's name?
Ruby.
And does she look like you?
Yes, however, her fur is more solid gray rather than spotted as I am.
And what's Ruby there for? Is it because of money or
Compliance.
Essentially, they took her hostage.
okay?
So it's more members of the cult that have her then?
Not quite, more a puppet of the cult. Like I said, I don't think this tax collector really knows what he's funding. All he knows is he's getting a good deal. But long before I knew anything of this cult, that man was always a bit suspicious, to be the least. He, for lack of a better term, he's a bully.
You wouldn't happen to have the name of this puppet?
I never got to learn it, and then she turns to this, she turns to the halfling, Reg, just like, did you catch the guy's name? Did you ever learn the guy's name? And with that, no, the halfling's just like, oh yeah, I grew up in Ashwindale. This guy, he's like a real piece of work, you know. He always likes to you know, kind of throw his weight around. I think it's because he's like a halfling like me, but I think it kind of gave him a complex, and so he's compensating for things, you know. And so yeah, he's really just been kind of, you know, getting paid protection money, things like that. And he always seems to be really good at covering his tracks too, with the law and everything. And then he's gonna continue on this rant for about like 30 seconds. Oh yeah, Belton Freehallow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's a real piece of work. Kind of a you know the type. It's like one of those. It's like an annoying kid who like runs to their dad with like all the money whenever they do something wrong. They get off scot-free.
As soon as he mentions the name, you're going to hear like a deep growl from Artavan. His fist is going to clench his hammer really tight, and he's probably going to use like a hunter's mark and like make his eyes flash red just out of rage. Like he suddenly becomes very menacing in his presence, very hostile.
And the halfling is going to be blissfully unaware of it as he'll turn away to the rest of the group.
It's not directed at him.
Yeah,
he likes
and continue on it,
cool.
and continue on his rant, and then after a bit, Yaz is just like, Reg.
Well, he's gonna like turn around and kind of like go and help with getting the cart and stuff ready.
I think with that, because Wayne has asked Artavan about this, so I just rolled high on an insight check. So like, hey Artavan, isn't that Isn't that the name of the same tax collector?
He's gonna like walk away and hold up a finger. It's like just not now, kind of a thing.
Hang on. Gotta flip the table.
I have never been so scared of Artavan in my life. That was terrifying.
You're going to then hear the sound and see the shrapnel of the crate of shattering.
Yep. Just hear the of an empty box and the wood splinters flying and scattering into the salt.
Cosmo in the background. Wow, that was cool.
Vivi like dives as like to get away, like dives into the salt, and you just see his tail like wiggling into the end of it.
I'm gonna turn to Wayne and say, I guess that's a yes.
Well, he hasn't responded yet, so we'll ask him again when he comes back. Is he a halfling by chance? Is that what he was?
Yeah.
And I'm asking the barbarian.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, sad to me that my people can leave a stain like that. I would say he's less of a halfling and more as if like you wiped a halfling's ass and then it turned into a sentient creature.
So he's a half-assling.
Yes, yes, thank you. That is perfect. Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, that's great.
Sorry, I'm gonna talk to the halfling real quick. Excuse me, what was your name again?
My name's Reg.
Reg? Reg, anything else you could potentially tell us about this tax collector? Anything besides, to do with Ruby?
Oh, I mean, he's got a couple other people that he keeps as leverage, but he puts them to work as like secretaries and things like that.
Would you put who do they happen to be? Could you describe them?
Oh no, I try to stay clear of that place.
I'm sure someone as clever as you must have, seen a little glance here and there. Something.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he's got like a dog. I hear barking when I walk in that area of town sometimes. But I mean, other than that, I really don't know. I do know that you want to stay on his good side because you got like a good amount of the guard in his back pocket,
Do you
on
know,
his
perchance, do you know if he has any weaknesses? Anything he just really hates, really loves?
He really likes money.
Money talks.
And I think
Can't
he really
persuade
hates
you to-
losing money. In terms of physical weaknesses, I don't know, a good fist to the face might do it.
Is he a fighter or a runner?
I don't know. I assume with someone that much money, he has other people do the fighting for him. He's usually got a group of thugs with him.
Well, thank you for answering my questions.
What was the Paragon's name again?
Yeza.
Yeza.
Yeza. Okay.
Yeza, if we manage to find your sister, where would you like us to bring her?
I don't know, just somewhere safe. Maybe see if you can at least get her to whatever town we're being held in.
What?
Do you have like parents or?
Is there a home? Do you have home?
Well, I mean, there's I do have some extended family in Clifftown. They're they run a little shop, so that's probably the safest place for her.
How young is Ruby?
She's about 15.
Just. Do you guys do well in the cold?
I mean, we're born and raised Alabama, so I've never really been a place that's terribly cold.
I have family up. I can't remember what the mountains are called, Gavin. What's
White Spine Mountains.
White Spine. I have family up in White Spine. They hire staff to help with their homes that keep it clean and spotless and such. I could send her up there. She'd earn a decent living, have a life up there, and she'd be pretty safe. It's pretty far away.
But I mean, if she has family, it would make sense to give her to the family.
It just depends on how safe perchance you want her to be, or what you think would be safe.
Personally, I think she'd get bored and run off on her own if she was doing nothing but cleaning. She was originally going to be out here with us when we would go adventuring, but...
She might be something else. There's just opportunities and it's far. Just thought I'd offer. She'd get paid.
She's a smart kid, and I trust her to make... I would trust her to make a decision on her own.
Okay, I'll bring it up to her then. Are we good to go?
Yeah, I think Artaban are coming from the side, covered in some shrapnel and some sweat. All right. Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Cosmo will kind of like help him pick out the little shrapnel bits.
Oh, thanks.
It's like, oh,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you threw it pretty far. Wow.
Well, they were apparently empty.
Would have been more satisfying if they were full.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so going to be heading towards. Well, where are we going? I can go to the map view.
Por favor.
So, you got a about a 3.5 day journey back to Dryrock, or you can go straight southeast towards Clifftown, or straight west to Thornwald, or you can go through the Great Ravine. Where do you guys want to go?
I mean, it makes sense to backtrack because we still have to return the cart.
And the dog.
Which is
And the
in
dog.
the
Dryrock.
Clifftown?
Oh yeah.
We have to bring Bosco back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal then, isn't it? That's where we got to go.
Take
And
Bosco back.
is there a train we can? Oh wait, no. Where is
There's
Ruby being held right now?
She is in Ashwindale down here.
She's real far.
Oh my
But we
God.
can
Wow.
take the train there eventually. We just have to.
The train that goes straight to there.
Then we head over to the Saltlands. We deliver the passengers, and then we take the train down to get Ruby. Yeah. Everyone agree?
Can we get the bounty at the Saltlands, or do we have to go to?
It has to be
Clifftown?
at a law office, which there isn't
Okay.
any in Dryrock, but there is in Clifftown, Thornwald, Storasil.
There we go. We stop off in Clifftown on our way down.
With prisoners.
Yes.
That's how it has to be.
Well, we can talk about it, the logistics later. Let's just get where we have to be right now.
Alrighty. So, what square you gonna be heading to on this first day of travel?
Top
Just
right.
go back the way we came.
Yeah, I
All
think
right,
we
which
do right.
would be
Shortest
Top
route
right.
possible back.
which would be up to there. So,
Yeah.
first day of travel as you set up and set out. Let me go back to tabletop view. As you set up and set out, one of you roll a d6 for me.
I got it. That is a 6.
Wow.
6, okay.
Either good or bad. We don't know.
Each square is completely random.
Either good or
All right.
bad. We don't know.
So, as you guys are making your way through this first day, the sun starts really beating down as it gets later in the day. So, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw to fight off the heat, or do something, or you can try to do something else to stave off the heat.
So prestidigitation allows you to chill up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour. Could I like sit on the cart and chill that little cubic area so my seat is chilled?
Yeah, I would say yes. That will save you from having to make that con save.
Since prestidigitation is an action, is there any reason we can't do that for everyone?
You are more
As
than welcome.
Amelia and Vivi both have
we can-
prestidigitation.
You can have up to 3 of its. Yeah, so we can do it for 3 people.
We both have it. That
so
covers.
it covers our group.
All right.
Nice.
So everybody is nice and
Very cool.
kept nice and chill. The rest of the gang, they're pretty uncomfortably hot, but they're still.
They deserve it.
Vivi is going to distribute extra water to them in that case, even if that means using up more of the, what do we call them?
Spike spouts.
Spikes. Yeah, extra water.
All right.
And then I'm gonna beg Princess to, just fan everybody, as they go by, just take care of everybody else too.
Not only does Princess fan everyone, but the Princess uses her tail to like brush the sweat off of people's brow.
All right.
That's
so
great.
you all
Very
avoid
kind,
levels
very
of
kind.
exhaustion with that.
Capuchins have tails. I can't remember.
They do.
Okay, very good.
But I would say with that, you all avoid levels of exhaustion with that. And coming into the night, when the sun finally sets and the heat begins to subside, you'll go ahead and make camp for the night. So during the night, we'll have you guys go ahead and keep watch. And so, is there, because that was kind of the heat wave was kind of the random event for this one, is there anything any of you would like to do during the night, during your watch or anything like that?
I would like to talk to Artavan.
Right. So at one point in the night, Artavan, you and Dante are the ones up keeping watch as the rest of the group sleeps. It seems that Yeza is a pretty light sleeper, so she, not kind of near you guys, but from the cart, is kind of like passively keeping watch as she's in and out of sleep, but not close enough to eavesdrop on you guys.
Yeah, and he's just be kind of doing his thing again, where he's trying to figure out certain spells and stuff.
And I'm just gonna go up to him and, hey, Artavan, you seem kind of stressed today. You doing okay?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit anxious about saving this sister.
Yeah, I noticed once we started talking about this tax collector, you just seemed a little more on edge. Do you know of this person? Is this person someone of interest of yours?
Well, it's the same person that made me come out here and do what I'm doing now. It's the one that
So
has
this-
my sister.
That has Jazzy?
Yep.
Hmm.
Ooh. And there's nothing else I'd like to do than to kill him so beautifully. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
it's
I
been,
think-
it's been definitely mentally exhausting with the idea that I could finally be meeting up with him and saving her.
With what Reg was saying, is that kind of similar information that you've been told before of where she's at?
Yeah, I don't know any real specifics. He more just used my home as a plaything. We weren't given the luxuries of knowing details. We were just simply victims of his whims. And so it's nice to have a better picture of exactly of where he is and who he is. I just aim to end that.
Well, Arvon, I just hope you know, Jazzy is my, in terms of if we had to tier, the importance of the people that we need to save, she's up there. So don't worry.
I do appreciate it. I'm glad that I can have someone like you, someone that I can rely on if things get difficult. I want to trust that you can make the difficult decisions.
I appreciate that.
I can rely on you to have all of our backs.
Thanks, Arvon. And yeah, that's all I had. Oh, sorry.
Have you ever tried casting spells?
I've tried, and it never goes well, Arvon.
Does this look right to you? We'll kind of have, a little thing for the rest of their watch together.
Yeah.
All right. So, as we go into, unless somebody else has anything they want to do, we'll go into the next day. And if you're just retracing your steps, that means you'll move into this space right here. So, somebody go ahead and roll another d6 for me.
Go, Eric, go.
It's a 6.
Everyone's got a 6.
I got a 6 too.
Wait, really? Let me see. What did I get? What did I get? I broke it.
6.
Wow, you actually did.
Yeah.
666. Don't roll. There we go.
I
Yeah.
got a 5.
Hey.
What the?
I got a 6.
Oh, what the heck?
No, Wayne got a 5.
Oh, I got 5.
Yeah, Wayne. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you got a 6 before.
Almost
true,
all
the day
6s
before.
on the board. Ayo.
Alrighty, so
Let's just ignore that 5 and call it 666.
Yeah.
so
We want to fight the devil right now.
you want to fight a devil? All right, let me.
Hey, I got a
Baylor
fiddle.
sound.
Let's make a deal.
I've got a fiddle. If we fight the devil, I'm playing mute. I'm gonna do like a fiddle off.
Yeah.
I'm
Going
leaving.
down
I'm
to the
running.
Saltlands.
Asmodeus went down to Alabas. It doesn't have the same ring. He was looking for his soul to steal. I will say, with this day's trip, it is pretty uneventful, and thankfully not nearly as hot this time around. Still dry, so you still need plenty of the water. I would say by this point, halfway back, you've probably gone through about maybe a dozen of your spike spouts total, VV.
We had. Is that including everything that happened last session?
Yes,
Or is
yes.
that-
Yeah.
Okay.
From start to right now, about a dozen. So you have about
And-
like 38 of those left.
Because there
you
were
got
40 that we purchased, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 12 used. Got it.
Yeah. And you know, you can they do have the group did have some like water skins and stuff, so you're able to kind of stock up a bit more efficiently this time around. But yeah, this next day goes.
I was gonna ask, how are the prisoners looking?
They seem pretty comfortable. They haven't tried anything. They you know, they eat what you feed them. They drink, and during long periods of time, most of them are pretty quiet. The drunk, except for the Dragonborn, Dern, and Reg, the halfling. If you get them talking, they will go on and on and on until somebody makes them stop. And it seems that even without a drop of alcohol, Dern still somehow manages to be inebriated. It's almost like a permanent thing for him. He slurs his words, he does all this stuff, but most of the time he usually manages to sleep in very awkward, uncomfortable positions.
Are they still tied up?
That would be up to you.
Did we leave them still tied up?
I don't recall us saying we untied them.
Does anyone feel
yes.
opposed to, at least during the day, to have them untied?
We try half first. I'm afraid if everyone scatters.
We can. How about this, Audubon? How about we untie them in shifts, so that they're not all untied at once? So we get everybody a chance to be untied for a small amount of time.
That's not a bad idea.
Try to be a little humanitarian about it.
Right.
Have they been really well behaved?
Yeah. They whether they've been annoying or not is up to you, but well behaved. Yeah, they haven't tried to make a break for it. They've been, in fact, even in some cases, the druid has been helpful in making the salt better terrain with his mold earth spell.
I think Wayne would be matching the talking energy of the other two.
You're the one instigating for sure.
Yeah.
With their
Wayne.
talking nonstop, is there any information that they're divulging, or is it just empty chatter?
It's
Depends
more
on what
empty
Wayne
chatter.
asks.
With Reg, he's talking about random little stories from like his childhood and things that happened to him, weird little messes he's gotten into, but like nothing important. More just like, oh yeah, I got into this bar fight one time, and then the craziest thing happened. I woke up in this place and I didn't have any of my clothes on me, and so it's just gonna be random tangents, which at the very least helps fill the dead silence of the Saltlands.
And I think Wayne would just be asking questions that you'd think he was going to be writing a biography on them. Just like
Speaking
random
of the
questions.
dead silence of the Saltlands, Vivi is going to play some travel music with Princess accompanying him on the hand drum, the little tambourine.
I love it.
And
We're gonna
just
call that.
just a heads up to our passengers. I'm going to release your hands occasionally. Just as a reminder, we are your best hope. If you attempt to escape, we will try to kill you. If you do escape, you'll still have a bounty and be hunted down by less charitable folks. So please be wise here, and we're going to try and show a little humanity. Or Lupirianity. I don't know what the Lupirian form is.
Some good nature.
Natureanity.
Well, I mean, plus they've been removed. All of their gear has been removed for them. If they run out into the Saltlands, they're basically just going to
The death
perish
Death
within
sentence.
hours.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I would say Reg, being the talkative sort that is, just like, you guys are like the nicest bounty hunters I've ever met. I mean, even before I had a bounty, I've met some bounty hunters that were like real pieces of work. Like, oh my gosh, they would just go and just like say the scummiest things, and it's like they would, throw their prisoners on the back of their axe beats and let them dangle around and stuff. You guys have been really hospitable and
Princess
accommodating.
interrupts
And
him. Princess interrupts this diatribe that he's on and comes over and with all of her monkey might slaps him across the face. And then like scolds him for talking too much. It doesn't do any damage, but it's really
Yeah.
insulting.
You can hear it. It's an audible. And with that, the
And like
druid-
you can tell like Princess's body language, like they're saying, like he's saying like stop talking, slave, or something like that.
And with that, Lozo, the lizard folk, is
great.
gonna lean
Oh my
back.
gosh.
He's just gonna be like, "Oh, thank you, little monkey. Thank you." And yeah, and so we are going to go on to the we're gonna go on to the camp for the night, unless anybody has anything they would like to do.
I think I would just give Princess like a piece of gold. I'd sleight of hand it to her like, thank you.
Cosmo would probably practice her riding more in the back of the cart. She's not very talkative and sitting far away from Red.
And by far away, you're like
As far as she
maybe
can.
5
feet.
inches. 5 inches from the nearest person, because you guys kind of have to stack in there.
But just as far away from him as she can get.
Oh, yeah.
Amelia, you feel a little tugging on. I assume she wears robes. What does she? What does Amelia wear?
I haven't explicitly said it, but she has like that, what's it called? She has a shift weave, so her outfit changes every day.
Oh, that's cool.
But right now we're
Okay.
traveling, so she's wearing like traveling pants and like a nice like jacket, basically.
Yeah,
So
she has
after
clothes
you-
that can magically change their shape to whatever she
Where
wants
does
it to
the
look
clothes go?
Yeah.
After you gave Princess the gold, a minute later, you see Princess and Vivi behind you, kind of tugging on one of the little cloth pieces. Amelia, would you like to take
Yes.
watch with us tonight?
Sure, I'd love to.
That'll be fine. We'll do that. We'll take watch. Everyone get some sleep.
Alrighty. So, set up camp. Kind of the so you make camp, and it's pretty easy. Pretty quick setup. Not other than the dryness, there's not a lot of this is not what I wanted. I think it was this one. Now, the one thing that is really cool with the salt lens is during the nighttime. As you look up, there is not a speck of light blocking the sky. And so, as the night falls, there is just this endless wave of galaxies and stars up above. As you kind of see the twisting and turning. So Amelia and Vivi, you have the first watch.
Amelia,
Yeah.
I hope the events of this past few days here haven't disturbed you too much. I want to assure you that it's not all violence and cruelty. Sometimes we really help people. That's what I'm here for. That and to explore the world. But I just want to assure you, I found it a bit disturbing how that all ended. I'm sorry you had to see that as your first trip out.
That is so sweet of you, Vivi. I've been okay, actually. A lot more than I thought I would be. I honestly... Fighting's kind of thrilling. It's kind of fun. There's a lot of adrenaline. I don't know, I've never done anything like it. I mean, we practiced, right? I would shoot some magic out and maybe sometimes hit someone, but it was always an accident. But it really isn't. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. You're all taking a lot of good care of me, but I do appreciate the concern, and I look forward to those happy moments you were talking about.
I know there's some nervousness about returning home for you, but if I was a father, I think I'd be very proud of you. You're braving the world. You're striking out on your own. In my people's culture, that's one of the greatest adventures we can ever hope for. And I see that in you. I see bold spirit of the Lupierine people resonate in you. I really respect that.
Vivi will. She's gonna like lean. She's gonna kneel down and she'll hug you.
Big hug back. And then Princess, of course, like comes and like is like behind you, hugging you your head from behind or something.
Oh, cute. She'll just like pat.
And then she picks your pocket.
Roll a sleight of hand.
I gave her a gold. Very easy. Very easy.
A 25.
What is? Let me see. Let me see. What should she get?
It's take your pick.
With what do you think Princess has earned with a 25?
What do you think she's gonna find?
With a 25, she gets something really good. That's small, right? It has to be small. You can take my Heward's handy spice pouch.
A spice pouch.
Yep. Heward's handy spice pouch. It's an item.
Okay. For the sake of the role play here, I'd like to roll an insight check. Vivi's insight check.
Oh, this
it's
is
a
cute.
21. Can I assume that Vivi notices what Princess did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vivi just mage hands the spice pouch from Princess and then like tries to slip it back in her pocket.
Another sleight of hand.
Another
check.
sleight of hand with
15.
15. What's your passive perception?
12.
All right. Yeah. So she does not notice.
There's just this private
Sweetest
dance
moment.
of Princess continuing to take things and Vivi continuing to like put them back.
Vivi, you're just so kind.
So
Amelia would probably cry a little too.
Definitely a little tear. A little fox tear coming out.
and
Thank you.
As it's going, who would be taking second watch this night?
Can I do it with Dante?
Right.
Heck yeah.
So eventually, your guys' watch comes to a close. Wayne and Dante are the next to wake for it.
So I think first just kind of like sitting down, you'd see Wayne sitting doing his book for a little bit, and then eventually he kind of look up and just kind of put his book down and just kind of lay down looking at the stars. And then he just, after a while, he just like turned to you. Have you ever looked at the constellations before?
I've looked, but I never know what I'm looking at.
I would
Here,
say
like-
during this conversation too, you hear this roar. And then Bosco meanders his way up and uses Wayne as a pillow.
And I'll just be kind of sitting there petting him a little bit. So I would just kind of go through and start like pointing out constellations to Dante that I know from reading and all that. I'm like, oh, that one looks like this one. And then just kind of giving like a little bit of like what history he knows on the constellation. And then it just kind of go quiet for a little bit. And be like, what do you think's up there?
I have hopes, but I don't know.
I mean, there's so many different gods. Is that where they live? Do they... I know some live in different planes. Are the planes up there?
What have you found in your studies?
Everyone has their own opinion on what it might be.
That's what I've seen too. Yeah.
You know... Can I ask you something?
Of course. Anything.
How are you not scared?
I just must be a good actor because, in all honesty, Wayne, I feel scared quite often.
I mean, we've seen a lot in the months that we've been together, but I feel like I tend to panic every time we're we're faced with dangers and things, and sometimes I act before I think, but deep down my heart is racing and I feel scared. But you seem to know what to do.
Wayne, what are you truly scared of? What is that deep down? Are you aware of anything in particular that's making you scared, or is it just this thought of anxiety?
When Cosmo died, I felt like I wasn't enough, and I'm scared that the time will come that I won't be enough again.
Wayne, I know that feeling, and I can relate to that more than you know.
You ever miss being a soldier?
There are times, obviously the highs are, high, but the lows are also extremely low. Wayne, I kind of want to tell you a story, if you don't mind. Vivi, a while back, he pulled me aside and asked if I had ever actually taken the life of someone that I cared about. And unfortunately, I had to tell him the truth of yes. But actually, I don't think I've told you the full story yet. I think I've maybe just, brought parts of the story before, but I don't think I've told you the whole story. So the actual truth is that I actually had an amazing friend growing up, and his name was Marcus. He and I, we were the best of friends. We did everything together. We always had dreams of becoming soldiers together, dating, girls together, and just, having the best of lives together. But while we were soldiers, Marcus actually got into a pretty bad gambling problem. And he actually took out a large amount of debt to fund this problem. And he actually came into some agreements with some pretty bad people. And they put a deadline on this debt of when it would be due. And I didn't know about this. He never spoke to me about this before. But there was one day where I was going through his stuff and I saw a letter with a date, and it was today's date. It was that day's date. And what had happened is that he and we were in charge of transporting quite a bit of money for one of our jobs. And I brought this issue up to him. I knew what my friend was going to do. I knew he was going to try to take this amount of money, and I tried to stop him. And Marcus was not about to let me stop him. He said that either he was going to have to pay the money or they were going to take his son. And he said that was never going to happen. And a great fight brought out. I did all I could, Wayne, to try to stop him and not hurt him. But he stabbed me right in my right arm and in my back. That's why I still to this day have that weakness like I told you about. Unfortunately, I had to take his life. He would not let me just stop him. It got that severe. And that, Wayne, has been on my mind constantly. It always brings me back to what I had to do to someone I truly loved. And to this day, I haven't told his son Ethan the real story. I told his son Ethan that that bandits attacked us when we were on that route, and I don't have the heart to tell him the truth. So you saying me as a brave person, I can't say that I'm brave. I'm too scared to be truthful to the people that I love and care about.
You went back. Was there anything that you'd do differently?
Well, Wayne, to be honest, after all had happened, I actually had a house outside of where I used to live. I didn't always live in that crappy apartment that I live in now. I used to have a house. I sold that night, and I paid off the debt for my friend so that Ethan would never know. So, in reality, yes, I would have gone back, talked to my friend, told him that, hey, it's okay to go through struggles, and helped him.
Were you scared?
terrified.
For what it's worth, I think you're a good friend, Dante.
Thanks, Wayne. I'm trying to overcompensate for what I've done.
And with that, the stars above begin to turn, and with that, Dante, you can ever so faintly feel a gentle breeze at your back, familiar, like a comforting friend consoling you. Which brings us to the third watch, which leaves us with Artavan and Cosmo.
She's like scratching off another day in her little journal and looking up at the last of the stars, just like enjoying the view. Just kind of turns to Artavan. She's just like, "Are you okay?" Really?
Think as okay as I could be. How about yourself?
I think if I said I was completely okay, I'd be lying.
Same.
But being with you guys definitely helps. You know, you're all my home.
We have quite the adventure ahead of us, don't we?
And
well, I'm glad to have. I'm glad I can share it with you.
I'm glad I can share it with you too.
And yeah, I think enjoying that beautiful starry sky.
And as you're looking up, you manage to see just ever so faintly crossing the sky this little. However, it looks like it's moving weirdly slow, especially where you're from, Artavan. Driftin. Driftin does not give a lot of light pollution, so this is a pretty familiar sight to you. And normally they don't move that slow, but then you notice this thing getting bigger and bigger, this light, and bigger until...
What do you think that is?
I don't know.
It shoots over your head, and about half a mile away you hear this... And you see a cloud of dust, rocks, and salt.
Let's go see what it is.
That totally woke us up, right?
Oh yeah, it shook the ground.
She just like jumps up and starts running towards it. Like,
it's the bottle worm.
Jeremy, I think you're muted.
Did Dante rip it again? What happened?
What happened? What was that?
I don't.
we don't know. Let's go see.
How
Like,
far away
already
did it
halfway
land?
there,
Was it?
just calling over her shoulder. Come on,
Probably
guys.
about half a mile out.
And
I'm
is it the
gonna
middle of
go.
the night?
Yeah,
Middle of
Cosmo's
the night,
just
yep. And you
Cosmo's sprinting.
You do see over one of the salt ridges, faint glowing orange light. This is what 3 6s will get you.
All right, which one of you shit in my pants?
What the hell?
In your own pants.
I'm gonna run after Cosmo.
Oh yeah, I'm
This is a
definitely
great
running
discovery.
too. I'm
I'm so
grabbing
slow,
my
though.
book and I'm running.
Let's leave all the bandits alone.
They're tied up.
No, yeah.
If
If everyone left,
isn't
either
No,
Artavan's bringing them.
Even the ones that are tied up, they are scuttling to go along with you because they want to see.
I mean,
All
can't
right.
we just take the cart? Can't we just take the cart in that direction?
I mean,
We're like running
You
and
could.
then
I'm
can,
just
It would take a
already
second,
Pepper
I guess,
is not
to-
hooked up to the cart for the night for camping.
And it's only half a mile.
It's like
She's-
maybe a 2-3 minute thing.
She's using her full speed. She's
I'll be at the back
sprinting.
behind the
Booking
prisoners
it.
and just armed and ready.
No, they're just like, oh, what? They're all running along behind, and as you cross this
Okay.
final ridge, you see this crater
Oh,
that
you
has
got quiet.
formed as small orange fires are formed along, and you see this crater of salt that has burned so hot it has basically turned to glass at this point. But it has cooled as you see this large, probably about as big as you, Cosmo, this large, porous, just gray rock.
Ooh.
And
Is it?
rock.
Cosmo,
It's a rock!
and Cosmo, you are the first one there, so what are you doing?
So it's all cooled off enough to walk on?
It is cooled off now, yeah.
Wow,
as
that's
you-
so fast.
Yeah,
As you
she's
s-
gonna jump down and investigate
As
closer.
as you step on the glass-like surface, it cracks a little bit under your boots, but it's solid directly underneath, so you're not gonna sink through or anything. And as it goes, and you feel like you have to. It's very faint. It is very faint, but you feel something physically, a physical force, kind of pulling you towards it, just ever so slightly.
She's gonna touch it.
As you touch it, it feels like just like a normal rock. Bit warm to the touch, but other than that,
As I get closer, I'm going to. Oh shoot! Sorry, let me find it. I have it out as.
I'm gonna use one of my magic awareness things. I'm gonna use magic awareness.
it's kind of hard to tell as you activate your magic awareness. The rock itself doesn't give off anything. However, looking through one of the tiny little pores of the rock, you do see a faint magical essence.
What school of magic is it from?
Graviturgy.
Oh. Okay,
Cool.
okay. She's gonna take her great axe and try to break it open.
I'm like, wait!
Ah!
Let me look at it first.
Yeah, just let us look at it, please.
And finally, Amelia.
But wait, there's something inside of it.
What?
And then I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go like this. Shafer ve Kanska! And then my little drift globe is going to lift up into the air and then cast daylight over us
Ah!
so we can see.
I looked
It is now
directly at that.
very bright.
So now we can get a good look at it.
Okay, can I break it now? There's something inside.
Wait.
We'll let you
Uh,
break it when it's time. Just
I wanna-
axe
I wanna-
down.
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking notes on like what it looks like, how many holes it has, is it warm to the touch, is it smoking?
It's
I'm kind of just like taking a lot of like the notes of what the hell is this thing.
I need to break it.
Can I do a history check on it?
I need to.
If anything like this has happened before in history, like a book I read once that maybe can help
Yeah,
explain.
go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guidance.
I need to break it. I need to break it.
Okay, I got an 18.
In 18. So you do know that most of the most asteroids that impact the surface of Auroran are regarded as nothing other than natural disasters. However, in very few cases, which are very, very few cases, there have been a couple impacts that have had rare materials inside that have been used to forge weapons.
Can I So I probably I don't know. Can I tell if this is one of if this could be one of them? Is that an investigation check or?
There's something inside. I know it. Let me break
You do
it.
know that Cosmo knows that there's something inside of it, and you did see her tattoos light up as she did her magic awareness.
Oh.
Can I do like an Arcana check to kind of feel the magic? I guess.
Sure.
15.
I mean, you're feeling the slight gravitational pull.
Okay.
Okay, go for it, Cosmo.
Ah!
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
can I
no!
do anything
Oh no!
no.
Eight.
You know what? I'm gonna use one of my super fancy chronal shifts to let you do that.
No! Yes. Thank you. Okay, now that's
discovery
a
of a
24.
Ah.
I'm like, no,
Go
we're
ahead,
figuring out
go
what's in
ahead
this
and roll
thing.
damage.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad someone that's a
That's
heavy hitter
16
came.
damage.
16. You embed the axe in, and it cracks along the. It cracks vertically along the rock, but it's not enough to break it open. And you feel your
Again.
axe is lodged into that crack.
Yeah,
I would
she's
say-
just gonna try
Multi-attack.
and pull it out and then do it again.
Were you gonna do something, Wayne?
I was gonna say, I'm like, if you leave it in there, perhaps we could strike it with Artaban's hammer, and that could help break it.
He's not here though. He didn't come.
I am. We're all here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all here.
Everybody's
Oh,
here.
No,
I was
she's just
so
gonna
engrossed in what was
yeah,
happening.
she's just gonna pull
He's
it out
been-
again and do it again.
Okay.
Just
He's
do
been
it again.
sticking at the edge of the crater.
All right. Make another attack roll.
Another nat one. Holy moly!
Okay, I have 2 of them. I'll do one more.
Thank you. That's a 24.
Go
Wow.
ahead and roll damage.
Wow.
What the heck?
I really need you. 12 damage.
12. And as it goes, it cracks a little bit more until finally. And you hear this hissing as the rock breaks in two. And you see,
Detailed description.
and as it's going,
Getting
you
closer
see
now.
this from the split open rock on the right hand side of it. There's like a little pocket that was containing this purple crystal about the size of an American football. That's just, and it like gently floats out of the little pocket and just kind of starts lazily drifting a couple inches off the ground. And there's just
Can
this
I
faint-
like
She's gonna touch it.
can I like use my magic to like make it to see if it will respond to like magic? Like it will come to me or something? I don't know.
Cosmo touches it first. Cosmo, as you touch it, it just
oh, okay.
gently bounces off of your fingers and then just uses that momentum to start gently floating in the other direction.
Oh, she's gonna grab it to stop it from floating away.
Grab it, easy enough. A little bit cold to the touch, just this large purple crystal.
I got it.
Can I touch it? Can I look at it?
Oh yeah, it's cold. I mean, it's not too hot. Yeah.
It's like cool
okay.
glass. It's not like cold, but it's like cool glass is what it feels like.
Because it like you can touch it. It doesn't just float in your hand. Like if she tossed it, would it float a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, probably yeah. I don't want to spoil it though, because then we won't have it anymore.
I'll look at Wade.
Can I hold it, please? Can I?
I
And it kind of with the, you said it's glowing.
Ever so faintly, yeah. This faint
Okay.
purple glow.
I think holding it too, I'd kind of look at Dante and be like, well, I think one of the gods might have been listening to us.
And Dad bod Dante's finally just getting up there to you guys.
I know how you feel.
Looking at the future Skydancer fighter levels, you'll eventually be the fastest one in the party.
Thank goodness. Okay. I'll give you 2 thumbs up, okay, Wayne?
Hey, this is his Rocky montage, okay?
That's right.
The next 100 episodes are. Just kidding.
Yes.
I don't
so
think
yeah,
I don't think we're sleeping tonight, Wayne.
no. But we gotta run some tests with this. What is this? And I kind of like let go, and I would just kind of like be bouncing it between my hands.
It does fall, but not enough to hit the ground. It only levitates a few inches from the...
I've never heard of anything like this before. Amelia, in your studies, have you heard of this?
I would assume, because I'm like a chronologist, so that kind of goes with graviturgy.
Not really, no.
Necessarily?
This is not necessarily, no.
Can I do a check to see if I do, or do I just not?
With this one, this specific thing, like, you know of graviturgy wizards, but
yeah,
this thing is quite literally alien, as it technically just fell from the astral plane.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's kind of similar to some wizards I've met, but nothing. I've never seen anything like this before. This is incredible.
It's really cool.
Maybe we could take it up to Veneri, and maybe she might know what it is.
Who's that?
She's the shopkeep of the magic shop and store.
She's that cute little. I mean, she's that little.
She's Vivi's crush.
And if Vivi could blush through fur.
Okay. I wish we could talk to my father or my papa. Yeah.
My mom might know. I mean, if we could talk to her as well, she would have probably known. She's very powerful.
Is it dangerous?
She knows a lot.
Doesn't appear to be.
If it was, I don't think we could be doing this with it.
Are we doing like different types, like knocking on it? Does the light change? Do I feel anything?
With investigating and stuff, it seems that it seems that in its current form, all it's gonna do is it's going to float.
Well, I do know if we find a proper smithy, they could make a weapon from it.
Dante, stand on it. See if it makes you float.
But it by itself is probably worth a good amount of coin.
I mean, I think holding on to it and see what it might be capable of. I'm curious.
We should find a very old dwarf blacksmith. I'm sure he'd make something incredible. Yes, let us hold on to it, but not before we get to look at it tonight. Wow.
All right.
I'm not going to be able to sleep anyway.
So you spend the rest of the night studying this thing, and then we will go to the next day.
And all of the gang is all still with us.
Yep. They don't try to make a run for it. They're just as enamored.
That's who I was with the whole time. We all came. But
yeah, I was gonna say I would have stayed with Artavan and the guests as well. Just to make sure they didn't run.
So, into the next day, after about half a day's traveled, I assume you guys are going to be enamored with this for a little while.
Yeah, that's my new study for the next month.
Should we store it in my bag of holding?
Probably.
While we're not looking at it.
What do you mean? We're gonna be looking at this all the time. Why would you want to take your eyes off of it?
I don't want to
see if Princess can float on it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part of the test for sure.
No, Princess.
We could put it in my monkey of holding.
Yeah, Princess is too heavy for this thing to float with her on it. It seems to really only be able to support its own weight.
I'm just gonna put glowing space rock.
But basically, the way you described it, Gavin, I kind of get the impression that this thing acts like the same way that matter in space acts, where
touch it.
Pressure against it, it's almost like it's weightless.
A little bit, yeah.
But there's volume to it, so it has weight, but it's weightless.
So it will. So it does.
Or mass
still,
is what I meant.
Yes, it still floats down, and then it'll hover about a couple inches off of the lowest point it can go, and then you can tap it and it'll float, but it does still have mass and inertia and things like that.
So one thing that hasn't happened, I can cast Identify. I'd like to do that.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Alrighty, so as you cast Identify, the magic within is definitely graviturgy, and
Graviturgy.
graviturgy.
Graviturgy? Has
And-
anyone heard of graviturgy before? Sorry.
Oh yes, I have.
And basically what it is it is a gravitational, it doesn't really have like an official thing, like this thing is named this, but it seems to act as like a gravitational conduit. It is a source of gravitational magic and energy, concealed within a crystal,
Cool.
which only floats in its current form, however can be shaped to either a weapon, a shield, or suit of armor.
So definitely Vivi's relating that to everyone, but mainly to Wayne Amelia.
That's cool.
So it is just a material, very priceless. Thanks, Phoebe. That was very useful.
But after the identification takes place and you're making your way back eastward, finally, Dryrock comes into view. And you finally manage to pull into the outskirts of the town at about midday. That is not the one I wanted. I think I wanted this one.
Good song, Phoebe.
And so
Cheers.
as you finally approach the town, conveniently on the edge that you guys left from, you see the stable and Old Man Durgat's shack that was on the far western edge of it.
Is the door still broken?
Yes, the door is lying down in the salt.
That's amazing.
Yeah, let's go bring Boss Cow back.
Yes. Come on, boy. Come on.
And he just kind of meanders.
Can I carry him?
Make an athletics check.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
massive.
That one for 8. What are these rules?
You go to carry him, and he just goes limp in your arms, and then flops down on top of you.
Cosmo.
Help.
I'll help you up.
Ah. That did not go so well. It worked better in my head.
And as you're going, you see kind of crawling his way out of the shack with his missing limbs. He kind of goes and sits back up onto his knees, and is just like, "Is that my boy? Is that my boy?" And seems to be the more Irish personality, as for the first time you see Bosco run, and then just absolutely woof, and just take him down. He's like, "Oh, there's a good boy. That's a good boy," and is just giving him scritches. And you see the dog's tail wagging furiously.
Oh, that's sweet. He's a good boy. Very happy soul.
Yeah, they were taking pretty good care of him. He's been well fed.
And you just see him, and he's just like, "Oh, Yeah, he definitely wasn't nearly this big when I last saw him. Just giving him scritches.
Oh. Wow.
Leaning over. Was there any like reward for saving him? Just asking.
Think so?
No.
No? Oh no. It was just the dog.
That's fair enough. Just making sure we weren't forgetting anything.
Yes. It was in exchange for information.
Right.
It's the reward of having done a good deed and saving a life.
Exactly.
Karma quest. All right.
And I'd say this is a pretty satisfying view.
Yes.
All right.
Now we can do our other job.
Return the cart then.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that as well.
Was that with?
Alright.
Who was that with?
That was with
Oh.
the orc gentleman running the stables.
I think Phoebe was with you when you bought it, right?
Yeah,
As
the
far as
only ones
everybody
that
but-
weren't there were Wayne and Cosmo.
Oh,
Cosmo.
that's right. I was there. I forgot.
It's me. Cosmo.
As you approach,
It's
you see him. He's there with his arms crossed, and as he goes up, just like, glad to see the desert didn't eat you all up. Welcome back.
Hello.
Did you get it done?
Yeah, well, it's not in the perfect condition. I mean, we did our best. We almost did get eaten up by the desert. Crazy Twister came and battered us around for a while, but it served us really well. It was very well made.
Glad to hear it. And he kind of looks it over. Damage pretty minor, so yeah, I can cover the cost of all the damages after what you did. And then he looks in the back and sees the rest of the gang. And I assume these are the yeah.
Yes, they are.
What's left of them?
Are you gonna like execute them in town, or what's the deal here?
Don't we have
Well,
someone
they're
else
Thinking
to take
about it.
them?
They fetch a higher price alive, potentially. I think.
Would that be a deception check?
Yeah, that would be a deception check.
Okay.
I'll give you guidance on that.
Ah, thank you.
I'll give you Hunter's Mark.
Got a 19.
19. He's just like, well, as long as you get them out of here before they start stirring up more shit. But, yeah, I would say, business is concluded. I can take the card off your hands if you want to clean it out. And then Reg is just like, oh, you don't have to tell us twice to clean this out. And he, like, just goes and hops out, and the rest of them kind of begrudgingly follow. Just like, kind of leans into Artavan because he's the one who's been dealing with the most, and just like, it's a little unnerving that they're this enthusiastic.
It's a long story. But they'll be out of your hair. Don't worry about it.
Right. Well, pleasure doing business with you. I suppose, well, if you ever need to be trekking across the Saltlands again, I can, what you did, I'll hook you up with a nice discount. Ever need, any, if you ever need any axe beaks for keeping or wagons for keeping.
Much appreciated.
Thank
Give him a
you.
handshake on it.
Yep, and he'll reciprocate the handshake.
All right, what's next?
I guess we could take the train. Wait for that and then head down to Clifftown.
We'll be
Is
have
that
to pay
where
for
we need
these
to-
guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we taking.
Yeah.
That's where we're taking the gang is to Clifftown.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. Let's go then.
That's the nearest place that we can drop them off without going back to where we came from.
All right. And so after looking around, checking the station, the next southbound train will be arriving tomorrow. So you have one day here in Dryrock with a bunch of tied up prisoners.
All right.
Wayne, do you want to study the rock while we wait?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
We should.
Cosmo's gonna experiment with food more.
Okay. So for the sake of expediency, are you guys going to be staying at the inn, or are you just going to camp outside on the edge of town?
I would love to sleep in a bed.
I think wherever we do end up staying, we should still have watch for the prisoners.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there like, can I look around? Is there like jail written somewhere on a building?
There is not, no.
Wow.
No sheriff?
I'll set up on the outskirts of town with you, Audubon. We can keep them out there.
Well, like if we give them a room, we could just take watch in the room.
What do you want, princess?
What he said.
Their heads on pikes.
Tells them
The dark one craves blood.
Wow.
You're more intense than I thought, princess.
Yeah, and as you say that, you notice that Princess still has the little flask that she stole from the college students, and she's like hiding it really quick. Princess, are you drinking? Princess, and then like Vivi goes to like take the flask, and Princess like dashes away, but like really badly, like stumbling and stuff.
Well, and it's like that awkward monkey walk where the hands are above the head.
I think it would be all right to get them a room. This might be the last time they sleep on a comfy bed for a while. I don't know what the jail situation is like where they're going.
So this place, pretty cheap, just 2 copper per room.
Okay.
And how many beds per room?
2.
2 per. And will they allow us to consolidate into like?
Yeah, you can fit as
VIP?
many people as you want in the room. It's just you just got to pay for a room.
Yeah, best to have them all in one place for
I would
sure.
say
Why don't we
so,
have
yeah.
them pay for their own room? Do they have gold on them?
Nope.
Hmm.
All right, I'll cover the bandits' room.
Yeah, I'll split it with you. In fact, if each of us pay for one, how many people are there?
How many rooms are there?
Because we need to make 3 rooms.
Most
just for
most of the
Right.
there's 4 rooms in total, but they're all unoccupied, as pretty much everybody that's here lives in their temporary work homes, scattered around the house or scattered around the town.
So it's 2 gold per room?
2 copper,
copper.
per
2
room.
copper.
2 copper?
better.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll just.
Super cheap.
So if I just gave a gold, that would pay everything.
that would pay for
Wait a minute.
everybody. Yep.
So
Okay.
all of us could double up in
Not
each
necessary.
room, and then all the bandits could be in their own room. And that's the 4 rooms.
We can't leave them in their own room.
But we
Oh.
can.
Not alone.
I mean, we could take watch and have one person.
Why
be in
don't
the
we
room
do
with them.
what we do at camp normally, and 2 people will take watch with the bandits in the room, and then when it's time, we just switch out
Just-
and
Mhm.
Still
take the room.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
Love that.
ankles and wrists tied, everything. But let them sleep.
So we only need 2 rooms for us then.
2 rooms sounds good.
Okay, I'll
4
pay
copper.
for those.
4 copper. That's it.
I'll pay for that. That's nothing.
All right. So, as night begins to descend, and you are within the tavern for the night. Is there anything you would like to accomplish within the night as you are keeping watch and waiting for the train to arrive tomorrow morning?
Nothing that I would like to do.
Nope.
Just the rock. The crystal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just I think you and I would probably take watch together so we could be playing with it.
Yeah. We're
All right.
taking watch.
Throughout the night, true to their word, they do not try anything. They don't even ask to be untied. They are they seem to be pretty honest folk. And so they've contented themselves and they don't try anything. They are a bit obnoxious, fighting with each other of who gets the comfy bed, and then it ends up going to the druid is comfortable to sleep on the floor. Yeza gets her own bed, and then the bard Gluto begrudgingly shares a bed with Reg, and they try to make it as not awkward as possible, as it barely fits the two of them. But as the morning rolls on, I suppose those of you that are after traveling through the desert, it's nice to be in a cool room with chilled water and everything. And so I would say that most of you, except for the two of you that are super excited, when you do get to sleep, you probably would sleep in a little bit to recuperate until eventually throughout the whole town you hear the of the train's whistle, signaling for people to board and disembark. And that is where we are going to go to break. So we'll be back in about around 15 minutes. So for we'll be a bit more generous on time. So for player reference, be back by 7:05 at the latest. So that's gonna be about 17 minutes ish. 17, 18 minutes, yeah. So plan on being back by then, and then we will just pick up right on boarding the train. So we will see you in just a bit. And we're back. Still just waiting on Jeremy, but we're gonna go ahead.
No, you're not. I'm here.
Oh, what the hell?
Yay! Good timing.
Were you just
Whoa.
standing there?
Waiting.
Just waiting.
Damn, you rolled high on that one, dude.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, so as we're going, the train comes to a stop in the station, giving you ample time to gather all your things and your prisoners. As you make your way over to the train station, is there anything you're doing?
I don't think anything in particular for me.
And I don't think we really used any resources. I think we're just good to go.
All right.
Yeah, same for
I'm
me.
gonna just real quick before we do hop on the train, I will do an animal handling check
Ooh.
if that's necessary, Gavin.
Oh, yes,
Or
for your rats, yeah.
Certain something,
Just-
some rats that have been neglected over the last couple week.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make the animal handling check. This will be the one to determine whether or not they will still follow you without the charm if they like you enough.
Total of 12.
Total
That
of
is with a
12.
guidance on myself. 12.
They get a bit restless, and one day on the trip, you
They're gone.
realize they chewed through the bag, and then they escaped into the desert.
I drink to them and wish them a long and fruitful life.
In the desert.
Fools!
Oh, the rats will thrive anywhere.
Okay, good.
They'll do fine.
Yep.
Amelia's like watching them leave. Oh no.
But as you make it to the train station, you do see the train security kind of go as they're checking everybody's tickets and everything till you guys get up, and he goes and one of the head of security steps up, a large what was he?
Minotaur.
No, a large bugbear wearing leathers.
Cool.
As he comes up and he's just like, and is there any reason these folks are tied up right here?
Yes.
And
That's all
that
he
would
says.
be
And Vivi produces a minor illusion openly, showing, not trying to hide that it's an illusion, of our badges, our status as legal enforcers, basically.
and he's just like, oh, bounty hunters, all right. Well, we can't keep these criminal folk here with paying customers, so there's a 20 gold detainment fee, and our security will hold them in the back car with the cattle.
I cast Charm Person on the bugbear.
Oh my
man.
gosh. Yeah.
Please beat a 15 Wisdom DC.
He got a 12.
You don't need to see our gold.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Make a he kind of goes in
Friend.
and makes a make a persuasion check with advantage.
23.
23.
Holy moly.
gosh.
I suppose I could let it slide this time, little man. And he holds out his super lanky arm for a fist bump with you.
I do the fist bump like we're old friends, and I actually slip a tip into his fist after I do it, and I slip him a gold.
All right. And he kind of goes, gives like a knowing nod as if you've been buddies for a bit. Pockets is just like, all right. We got detainees taken back to the cattle car.
Princess picks his pocket after he puts it back in.
Make a sleight of hand check.
That'll be with guidance, a 16.
16. With a 16, he is pretty aware, so it just barely beats his passive perception. So I would say Princess just manages to take that 1 gold right back. Yeah, but so the Yeza and the others are taken back. They don't try to fight it. They go quietly. And then the rest see your pass and let you on board the train. And so, train ride, let me check.
I'm not going to open the window again.
So, so let me just turn on the map real quick. So, the train ride is going to go east and then loop around the eastern side of the cliff and then stop in Cliff Town. Which that is going to be about a 2-day train ride as opposed to like a week and a half hike.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So
Better this way.
as you hop onto the train, you guys were gone long enough that this is actually the same train that you rode down to this stop. It made a full loop in the time that you were gone. And
Can we get the same room?
yeah, you do have a room
Ooh.
provided to you, so yes, you may. It's
Cool.
easy enough to kind of just go and call dibs on it.
And we're all of us in the room together.
Yeah, the room can fit. The room has 6 beds.
But
Like bunk beds,
there's
right?
we've got the Paragons plus.
The
They're in
prisoners
cattle
are in the
car.
detainee.
Yeah, they're in the
I
cattle
see.
car. Yeah.
My
But
bad.
we didn't have to pay anything, so that was very nice.
Thanks to you.
Well done.
All right. So, as you board the train, it is a bit more empty this time around than it was the last time you guys were on board. But yeah, and after just a little under an hour of the train being parked, the tracks start going. As the speed starts picking up, and you set out southeastward.
Nice.
So I would say the first day of travel is going to take you about here to here to here to here, here, and then here. And that's going to be the first day. So off on the east side, so on the left-hand side of the train, eventually as the day passes and it starts getting into the afternoon, not close, but in the distance, you do see the ocean, after the very bright ocean reflecting it, with both the sunlight glistening off of the water, and it's relatively calm waters, as well as just the brightness of the salt that goes all the way to the shore. It is pretty bright, so the tinted goggles definitely helps with that view.
Right. I am like glued to the window. And I'm just like,
Same.
I've never seen the ocean before. Have any of you ever seen it before?
No. Cosmo
Yes.
shudders.
Beautiful.
Is it always this bright?
It could be brighter, but it's pretty bright here.
Just never. It looks so much more vast than the books tend to describe it.
It's vaster than you can see, actually.
Using Vivi's knowledge and skill in music, I'd like to start a performance role where Vivi uses the natural, first of all, rhythm of the train plus the atmospheric vibe to create a soothing melody for the cart.
Alrighty, go ahead.
Anyone in earshot.
Cool.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
15.
15. Not bad at all. As they're going out kind of in the cart that you're in, some people are nodding along. There's one guy that seemed a little sick to his motion sick, but he seems to have calmed down a bit with it. And it's just kind of, so there's just like, it's not enough that people are up and cheering for you, but it's calming down the people in the cart, and they're kind of swaying to it. Things like that.
That was the whole point. Cool.
That's awesome.
Wayne, the next time you get the feeling like you need to see this again, so that you have, well, I saw you express some pretty strong emotions there. I feel like we all sort of deserve that. We sort of all deserved to feel a bit of wonder in the way that you do. The next time anybody wants to hear that, maybe we all play some music together and try to match the rhythm and the feel and the energy of this place. There is something magical about it, even though it wants to kill us. There's something here in this continent. There's something here I'm starting to notice as we travel. There's a sort of magic about the place. I'm hearing all sorts of things. When I interpret magic, it sort of comes to me in a rhythm and in a melody. I just wanted to say that traveling with you all here, it's been music.
Oh.
I think Wayne will kind of like with his draconic mage hand kind of pat you on the head. She's like, thanks, Vivi. And you know, I kind of know what you're talking about. I don't hear music, but it almost looks like flowing water. But it's like I can see it in my mind's eye. You can feel it.
Audubon, don't you play the drums?
I think he's kind of like he's been listening back towards everyone, looking at the window still, like kind of.
Because I sensed Audubon has been a little detached, so that was.
Mm-hmm. Audubon's he's like he's been detaching himself a lot through pretty much our whole journey. So yeah, he's like holding like a little trinket from home, but hearing about the inquiry. Yes, I do play the drum.
And
would you like me to play with you?
And Amelia, don't you have a skill with an instrument?
I've played a few. I know the lyre and the violin. Not very good. I can also hum or sing.
Always. And what about you, Free?
I mean, I'd love to try. I've never really held an instrument before.
I can hit the tambourine.
Princess hands you her tambourine.
Yes.
Like that big.
Well,
just flick it.
Others back home were pretty good with the instruments, but I don't know. I found more interest in the books than in the instruments.
That's it. Well, then use your book, Wayne. Then use your book. Well, I think I'm just challenging everybody, including myself, to just open up this right here and just listen.
You want us to rip open our chests?
Wayne will start unbuttoning or like kind of open his shirt.
Wait, I don't want. I am a lady. Stop.
Yeah.
And Dante, what do you have anything that it doesn't have to be a musical instrument? Maybe it can be something that opens your heart about the magic of this place.
I really don't have anything. Do you have anything for me? I just.
What is it? Who have you been speaking to at night when you sneak out? I've been seeing you. There's something about that. There's something about that connects you to the magic of this place. Maybe
is it another girlfriend?
was hoping to keep that a secret, Vivi. You know.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I didn't mean to give you away a secret. I just meant
Oh no,
What
no
secret?
problem at all.
he's
Oh no.
Wait, it was actually your girlfriend?
and
Whoa.
Vivi spells out he's a, and then spells out dancer D-A-N-C.
Dance for us then. Yeah.
Oh,
You can dance.
I could tell in your movements as you fight. They're very fluid. It's very different than normal fighting.
Yeah, Vivi. So maybe I can just get with the rhythm. Maybe you can start with tapping with the foot, seeing what happens. Maybe.
Wayne,
What do
you've
you
got your
feel
books.
when the wind is at your back?
Yes.
I feel
Stronger
pushed.
for sure.
No, Dante.
Strength. Mm-hmm.
What if we all try together to do a performance, something with the intention of hearing the magic together?
Sure.
Will you play with me?
Mm-hmm.
And
Of
Vivi lines up and holds action on a performance check, waiting for everybody.
All right. So I'm
Guess I'm
going to need a group performance check of what everybody is doing.
I think with Wayne,
Tambourine.
it's not just the. I know this doesn't really necessarily affect the performance check itself, but just kind of Wayne, how he does it is, he'll, at third level to cover everybody, he'll just cast bless on everyone, so everyone kind of feels like that magical,
Connection.
the uplifting. That's kind of how Wayne connects to it.
Nice. And
Okay.
so would that give us an extra D4 on this roll or no?
No,
that's
technically
for
it's only on attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay, but it's
like an
it's
assist.
magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the magic of it.
Yeah. So basically,
Alright.
what Andrew just did is lowered the DC of successes or failures.
Wow, we're all getting.
I just got a 7 because I was gonna try vocals. I was just with Vivi's confidence in me. I was like, well, I secretly been singing in the shower. So I was thinking this was gonna be my moment. But a 7. Oh.
All right.
Oh,
I got a
guess I should-
23.
Princess would like to lend the
18.
help action to Dante.
All
please.
right. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll again, Dante.
18 from Cosmo. Good job, Cosmo.
I can hit things.
You hit
18
Just-
with Princess.
Okay. Right.
Ooh.
Okay. And Artavan, what are you doing?
I got a 7.
A 7? All right.
And I would
With
like
your
to lend a
drum?
bardic inspiration to Artavan, please.
Add that D-
It's supposed to be rough. This is our first time.
Yeah.
Is
The
it, wait,
nerves.
is it a D6 still?
I believe it's a D6. Yeah.
Okay. That's an 8 total.
All right. And then Amelia, what did you get?
So Amelia, just to add some description, she's like trying to do what Vivi said, which is like she listened to how he described how he feels magic, and she just feels the consciousness of like all the magic in the world all around her constantly, and like the potential that's there. So she's trying to channel that in, and she's attempting to she's trying to do what Vivi does. And it works all right because she got a 15.
Okay. Yeah.
She's just humming. She's not actually singing or anything. Just
Well,
nice
sure.
little
Adding
hum.
in like those
yeah, she'll lilt. She has a nice.
Are they like
soprano.
low femtones? Like
Oh wait, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Cosmo will probably join in harmony with those ones.
So
Cool.
as it's going, little rough around the edges, but overall it's pretty good. And as you guys are kind of doing it through the connection of Wayne's spell, there seems to be a moment where everything else kind of starts drowning out a little bit, to where it's just just you guys, and with Vivi's connection, this is how he expresses gets his actual magic to manifest. There seems to just be, and through the help of all of you doing it together, and through it all kind of going, you all kind of start feeling things, these foreign emotions kind of to you. You get a little bit of, each of you, for just a fleeting moment, there's just that hint of wanderlust that kind of moves over you, followed by a feeling of searching for something, followed by another sense of duty and loyalty, followed by a somewhat familial bond, a sense of captivity, followed by the unadulterated feeling of overwhelming freedom, a sense of stern responsibility, as well as a sense of self-discovery. Very vague, amorphous feelings, but it's almost like each of you got to tap into the mind of one another. And a sense of vicious bloodlust when it gets to Princess, but we'll ignore that.
She's also privately, this is like an off-camera thing, but if Princess were to have a moment during this sequence, she would be hiding and drinking. And it's not funny anymore. It's like kind of sad. But that's the little private moment Princess might have here.
Aw.
Yeah. But after that moment, that moment fades, and then you kind of you lose that connection a little bit, and then it starts being disjointed. You're all now like offbeat from each other, out of tune. After a little bit, it kind of just wears off. That moment of synchronicity just snaps.
I sneeze and lose concentration on Bless.
Bless you.
I think the cacophony of all the sounds that happen, suddenly Melly will just start laughing.
Yeah, totally.
It's
Tension
kinda everyone.
breaks.
Yeah.
Everyone starts laughing.
All right. And so
That was fun.
That was
Yes.
amazing. Thank you, everyone.
No, Vivi, thanks for that.
And unless anybody has anything else, that we can move on to the next day of travel on the train. So y'all get a night's sleep, and as you wake the next day, you have one more full day before you reach Clifftown. So, during this last day ride, what are you doing?
Cosmo's probably gonna ask everyone how they spell their names, so she can start learning how to write them.
And I would be coaching you. Wayne would be coaching you on how to do that and all that.
It's like, and the D's this way.
Close. Now try it like this.
Oh, it's backwards. Got it. I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, D and B.
Okay. Got it. And then P is just B, but
Flipped around.
upside down.
Uh-huh.
And Q is just D, but upside down.
Uh-huh.
Common is weird.
It's really important that you have good spatial awareness in order to read.
I mean, I can kind of read just fine. It's just like writing that I can't really get down.
Maybe later I could teach you some Draconic alphabet as well.
You can learn some Elvish words. That's usually pretty helpful as well. But we'll get there.
Okay. I'm learning everything now. Woo.
Elvish is very complicated to write, so we'll just learn a couple.
Every time or anytime Vivi sees you maybe write his name,
He notices that you keep spelling the first I upside down because spatial awareness is like really weird for Cosmo. And if Wayne tries to stop her, Vivi's like,
just up to his face, just.
You probably have to do that like 10
just running down
times.
your face.
You'd have to do that like 10 times because I would keep on trying to correct. But
Just let
But
it run.
It's right. It's right.
Upside
It's so right.
down.
Right. So, as the train rolls on, you feel the of the tracks beneath you. The passengers on this time seem pretty sparse, as it's relatively empty. The service staff has since swapped out since you guys were last boarded, so you're not really recognizing anybody on the train.
Roy's not here.
No, he said he was getting off.
Nor Dante's new girlfriend.
That's right.
Or, I mean, potential.
Could I find like just someone that works on the train? It's probably just like
Yeah, are you looking for a security person or a server or
someone that looks like a supervisor that could answer my question.
Okay. Kind of as you're going, you do see one of the conductors walking their way down. Just a middle-aged human man. And as you approach, he's like, "Oh yes, what can I do for you?"
I'm not sure. I know the train is pretty new. Would it be possible to put like a hold or a rent on one of the rooms in my family's name so that if I ever come in, I get priority of that room?
Not at the moment. We'll need to be adding more cars, which more are being developed as it stands, but with the trains being as small as they are right now, we have to leave everything open for the potential of being fully seated. So it is on a first come.
So what if you allowed it to be open unless we came here, and then you could kick people out? Because we're not going to be on here too often, but often enough. And I'm willing to pay. It wouldn't just be free. It would be that I'd pay a fee.
Can I please give Amelia a bardic inspiration?
You can certainly try, but with that he kind of puts his hand up and he's just like, "Mom, we have a specific protocol we need to follow, and unless we get orders down from someone up on someone from the high engineering's table, then I'm afraid we can't do anything of that sort."
Do you know how I can contact these people? The high engineering. What was it again?
The high engineer's table.
If I were to give you... Oh, actually, where are they situated first? Maybe I'm heading there.
The industrial district in Storasil.
Oh. If I were to give you a letter and pay you, could you send this letter to them?
Not sure if anything will come of it, but I suppose I could.
Even if not, just the idea of you caking it for me, that will make my day much brighter.
Of course.
Okay, I will be back. So yeah, I'm gonna write a letter basically to them, and I'm gonna use my whole family name and all the authority of my family. And I'm just gonna request that I be allowed to have this priority over this specific room anytime I come in, and that my family will pay a fee or help sponsor the train.
Okay.
And then I'll sign it. I'm not even gonna ask permission from my parents, which is fun. And then I'll give it to him. I'm gonna write a separate letter. I'm writing a separate letter to my dad. It's fine. I'll figure. It'll be good. But I'll give it to him, and I'll give him. It takes a week to get up there, right? Like, would it take a week to get all the way up to Storsill?
Yep. About. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give him 7 gold. I'll give him a gold per day to make it worth it to give to him, to them.
All right. Okay. Sounds good.
I think Artavan would see Amelia writing letters and would actually, once she was kind of done and situated, go up and approach her. Amelia.
Yes, Artavan?
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Oh, sure. What is it?
And just being like the two of them, so I haven't really mentioned much about it, but we're kind of, new acquaintances and all, and we just barely met, but I don't actually know how to write. And I was hoping you could help me write a letter to home.
You want me to teach you?
Not to teach me, just to simply write down a letter for me. I tell you what it says.
Oh yeah, of course. I can do that. No problem.
That would be lovely.
Just in common, or would you like another? I don't know very many.
We can just do common. They know common.
Yes, of course. Here, sit down and let me know. Unless right now is okay?
Yeah, if you're available.
Yes, I just have to write a letter to my my father's, but that's all right.
Of course. I'll be ready when you are.
Okay. So,
and then later on, he will have a letter written for home. I have someone who's close to our destination, somewhat close to our destination. I'm hoping that I can get it to him, and then he can get it to them. So I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Anytime.
Do we get to hear this letter?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's W. I don't know how to write W's.
It's F for respect.
All right. So, eventually, as the sun begins to set, you feel this downward shift as the train is now moving at a slope, going down, and you feel gravity shift, feel the G-force of it turning to the right. And outside the right-hand side window, you see where the salt lens kind of immediately stop to this massive dark slate that contrasts the white salt on top cliff face as the salt lens come to an abrupt end and fall almost into like a somewhat salt fall and a slow salt fall down the cliff. And what you can see is along this cliff, bolted into the slate, are a bunch of stone and wooden structures, all kind of haphazardly thrown all onto the thrown all on the cliff face, leading all the way down, ramps and stairs and rope bridges and stuff connecting all these suspended things, leading down to the base of the cliff, where a town similar to that of Thornwald. It's like somebody took Thornwald and threw half of it onto a cliff face. Kind of there. As the train, let me pull up the battle map. As the train kind of goes like this, and then goes down and makes that sharp turn and pulls up into the city of Clifftown.
Nice.
As it and
We are.
We're here.
All right. So,
All right, time to go.
Whoa,
Hoping-
the cliff is so cool.
Hoping no
Wow.
one escaped. Arvon, should we go check on them in the back?
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
Fine.
Well, Gavin, when we go back there, is everyone nice and accounted for?
as you go, yep, they have 4 of the security team have been keeping watch on them at all times, and they're all there, accounted for.
Are they all fed?
Yeah,
They've
not
been
not
taken
like
care
the
of on
good
train and
stuff, but yeah, they've been fed and watered and all that stuff.
So how was your
Just
ride?
like all the
Having
rest of the
prisoners
cattle.
is a big responsibility. You got to feed them yourself. So yes, yeah, they are all there, and as kind of as you step out, it's pretty late in the day. There is a pretty decent hustle and bustle in the town. This is a pretty as you get out there, this seems to be a pretty working town. Let's see, this one probably worked better. So yeah, a working town. So there's a lot of people loading. There's people now loading cargo onto trains. There's a lot of goods being pulled by axe beat cart, making their way through. And you see up on the cliff face, there are a lot of people. A lot of people just making their way between buildings and stuff. And it seems pretty rough and tumble, pretty dirty. It's a lot of, not like dirty in the sense of like, you know, it's underneath the salt lens and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty rough and tumble. You do see going around, there are some open parks and courtyards, things, there's kids playing, street vendors selling things, kind of off on the southern edge of the town, which is where you're disembarking. There are some places for axbeak and other kind of cattle and things like that. There's a lot of mills and plumes of smoke going up scattered throughout the town. And a lot of workshops, warehouses, things like that. This town seems to have a good amount of refineries and production kind of going on. It's a very, for lack of a better term, kind of a blue collar kind of town, I would say. So it's a working city.
I'd probably go up to just like a random person walking who looks like they're from the town. I'd be like, where might we find the sheriff's office?
What? He just chooses one guy. He's like, I didn't do nothing, sir. I didn't do nothing to go to the sheriff's office. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Now, where can I find the sheriff's office?
I was just down around the corner there. About 3 blocks that way. Take a right. This dude
you.
has like maybe 3 teeth left.
Thank you, sir.
And as you're approaching, you do see the group that you're with. They are getting, specifically Reg and Gluto are getting visibly nervous. Yeza and Loza are pretty stoic with it. But Reg is just like, so you said you're going to put in a good word for us, right?
That's right.
You mean that? Like, the people you're putting a good word with, are you just like telling somebody random, or somebody that could actually, like, you know, give us a hand? Or are we just gonna kind of like, we're in there but somebody somewhere has a relatively okay opinion of us? Or is it something that we can actually work with? Because I don't know how well I'll do in prison. I mean, I'm just a little guy.
Wayne, Can we write up for them a writ, a transport papers with our name on it, with our symbol on it, something for them to show?
I was thinking
They're under our
that, and then
protection.
perhaps we could even send a message to Cromwell.
That too.
All right. And then Reg.
Given the fact of who they were being held hostage by, I think Cromwell might have some personal interest in asking them some questions as well.
Plus the fact that some of them were under duress. That's not quite fair.
Exactly. Which is why I think putting in a good word can be a good thing.
And after that, Red seems comes down and it's like, oh, okay. All right, I'm ready. Yeah. And he's like starting to psych himself up. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm gonna find the biggest guy there. Gonna beat him up, or should I not do that?
No, you shouldn't do that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna good behavior, and I'm gonna let's go.
I give him a bardic inspiration for that.
And as you make it, you do see a sheriff's office on one of the buildings, and kind of immediately behind it, you see a brick structure that does have a connecting interior connection to it, which seems like immediately into a holding prison. And as you step in, you see you see kind of you see two people. The sheriff's office itself, kind of a small thing. You just see two people. One of them is a human woman who is sit back. She has a wide brim hat that she has pulled over her eyes. She's back in her chair, feet up on the table. And then off to the side, you see with kind of like leather bandoilers with a badge on one of them, and kind of standing there with a couple hand crossbows at the side and a spear on the back. You see a large, kind of pale, almost salt-colored thrycreen that is standing there. Large insectoid creature with it just kind of standing there. And as you enter, you can all hear telepathically within your heads, "Sheriff, we got company." And then you see the woman goes and sits, just bolts right up. Goes up and oh my gosh, I just realized I said bandoilers instead of bandoliers. They're band oilers.
Canon now, it's canon.
They're gonna make your band so oily.
Hey, we're a band now.
We're into grunge rock, so it's all good.
We're an oiled up band.
Thank you, chat, for correcting me. And yeah, and so she kind of goes upright and just like, "Oh, howdy. What can I do for you?"
We're the Paragon, and we're here to collect a reward on a job.
All right, and she kind of leans over, looks at the group. And who might this be?
I'm gonna pull out the paper that I took from the wanted poster, or from the thing, their wanted thing, and then put it down.
Ah, Stockton gang, and where's the rest of them?
I pull out the two heads. yeah. Actually, yeah, I think Artavan had them.
They've been my pillow.
Make an intimidation check.
Hey, she kind of goes and shudders a bit, just like, all
Um,
right.
Now, that being said, there's a couple things we do wish to discuss with this particular job. Are you have you ever had the opportunity to know Inspector Cromwell in Storysill?
I know of him. I've never met him myself, but I know of him. See, did get notification a few days ago of a new Inquisitor. So,
Right, Inquisitor Cromwell. On this job, we've done some work with Inquisitor Cromwell before, and regarding our previous work, some things came up regarding this job in particular that he would personally be interested in. I wrote a letter. If you could perhaps send it his way, he might send for someone or he might come himself, but there's some things that he would definitely be interested in.
all right, yeah, I can send it out when I have time.
The other thing is the reason these two, and I point to the two heads, were taken down is we learned through no uncertain means that these two were kind of forcibly making these others act the way that they were. They have still done wrong, but it was under duress, and they should receive lighter sentencing and better treatment, just for the sense of they didn't have much other choice. But we would still realize that they did do wrong.
What he said.
I've got to do things by the book here. So tell you what. Can process them, book them, lock them up like normal. We'll do the interrogations, gather what evidence we can. Send for Inquisitor Cromwell, and if he decides to come down here, he'll do what he does.
And
we'll
I
go
did
from
explain
there.
the situation in the letter to Cromwell as well. I just figured I would relay it to you.
All right, but as it stands, I cannot take your word as evidence.
I understand. But it was one of those, I felt it needed to be said.
All right.
And there's one more thing. Technically, there was actually 8 of them in total. However, one of them was eaten by a purple worm. Because he was still dispatched and taken care of while we were in pursuit of them, could we still receive the reward for that extra member?
I'm afraid I can't pay you for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
Do you have any proof of his demise with you? Like these severed heads here?
I don't think we stopped, did we?
I just grabbed an axe big saddle. That was it.
I'm afraid without proof of the kill, I can't pay you for that. Once again, I can't just go off of your word. If we did that, then I'd have every mercenary everywhere coming in saying, hey, I did a job, give me money. Without having to provide anything for us. So I'm afraid I can't do that.
Yeah,
but
understandable.
I can go and have the city pay you for what you did do. Which, what was the total on that again? Was it?
That'll be 800 gold, 850 gold instead of 950 gold.
Yeah, that's right, because it was
100 gold ahead,
And then
250 for Stockton.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so that is 850 gold and a small little kitten from Jeremy.
Hello.
Why is she wearing the cone again? No. Does she have like was she just like scratching at something too much or?
No, she got spayed.
Ah, that'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Spayed your kitties, folks.
Yeah.
Spay and neuter.
Yep. And your puppies. I need to spay my pup. But yeah, so as kind of going there, the Thrycreen kind of goes, leads them off one by one, takes them back. The gold is handed over to you, but Yeza is the last to go, and as she goes, she'll turn, and because it was Wayne that she dealt with mostly, she's gonna look at Wayne. She's like, I'm gonna hold you to your word. And she's just gonna take like one solid like glance at you as if she's like getting your face down in her memory, and then she's gonna turn and silently be led back.
And then as she's going, I'm like, you have it. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my brother.
Right. So, you are now paid and free of the free of your living baggage, so to speak. So as so yeah, after that, the sheriff kind of goes, it's like, all right, now is there anything else I can help you with while you're here?
I mean, we could see if they have any other work and where we're going. But, I mean, might have to check while we're down there anyway.
You have a jobs board posted.
I'm sure there's stuff around town. Usually there is a courtyard near the center of town, as is standard for most of the larger cities here, where people can go and post job listings and whatnot. But as for me specifically, nah. Other than that gang, I don't. Sheriff's office doesn't have any work that needs to be handled by any mercenaries or anything like that.
Well, then I think we know where we're going. Isn't that right, Audubon?
Yeah.
To the beach.
Let's
Beach
go
day.
to the beach.
No. So I would pass.
Shirtless,
beach.
running out.
Yeah, you're right next
Everyone's
to the beach.
ripped.
It's only
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
it's only about a 5 days journey to the beach on foot.
Wow, that's 4 days more than I.
The
That-
Paragon
I don't know.
Baywatch. Sorry, a little bit of an old reference, but still.
Yeah, we just run really
The
hot.
slow
Slow motion row.
Yeah.
Throwing up our
That's
goals,
very
it's just we're
far
rich,
up the
you know?
Right.
beach.
By the way,
Dante's belly just-
everyone gets 141 gold. 141 gold, and then there's 4 gold left over. So probably like, well, Amelia's been paying for a lot of our stuff, so you can have the extra part.
Oh, thank you.
So you get 145. The rest of us get 141.
To the was it a lady that was helping us,
Yeah.
Gavin? I'll just look at her and just go, "Thank you very much" before we leave.
Of course. And she'll just tip her hat to you.
I have a question for you guys, like as we're walking.
Yes.
Is it normal for you to just get a job, finish that job, and immediately get another job and go?
It is now.
A lot of times, yes. Other times we spend time off and use the money we got to enjoy our life a little.
Go to a tea party and
Go to the
Just
beach.
curious. I'm just trying to understand how this works. I
That's
had a
a
more
lot of
romanticized
meatballs.
version of it, but if
That is the simple side of adventuring. Usually it doesn't go that way, but that is the standard way an adventure life goes. But usually adventurers end up finding themselves in much more difficult situations or crazy situations, kind of like what we're about to do.
I mean, and us kind of leading or going together, it just kind of one thing led to another, and we ended up in Storysill.
Just follow the flow.
It's music.
Okay.
But Amelia, is there anything that you want to do? Did you have an idea of something you wanted to do next?
Well, not really. My version of adventuring was sort of, you pick a direction and just go until you find something interesting. And if it's dangerous, you decide to go forward or you turn around and pick something else. Didn't realize there would be jobs and such as much as there has been, but I've only been here for about almost a week now. A little over.
So that does happen. Usually it's by what the jobs you take, and by you being adventurous at mind, as you go to fulfill your jobs, you'll end up coming across very exciting things, exotic creatures and dungeons and things. But we usually use our jobs to dictate where the flow is going to send us, and then we look around as we travel.
Like one time when we saw that one scorpion that was like as big as a building.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was exciting.
I wanted to eat it.
Or that other
Okay.
time that we were hunting a squid face and we found this elf maiden in a jail cell. Should have been.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Amazing.
that.
That was weird.
Could have been there,
You should have
Amelia.
told me that
Fun.
one sometime. That sounds like a good story.
That one was
Thank you.
fun, but stressful.
I do have a letter I need to send off. We could find a courier's place. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, there is it's not too far away from the sheriff's office. The kind of like an Alabast sponsored mail system with it of a lot of the governmental things are in pretty close proximity. So the post office, pretty quick to find.
Okay.
I'd probably go with to deliver my letter too.
Yeah, Mamelia kind of like looked at you a little
Yeah.
when she said that because she understands that you also have one, but it was in confidence, so she doesn't want to. Say it out loud.
Yeah. Oh right, I have one too. I'll send it as well.
You all welcome to come, or we can meet you somewhere. Doesn't matter. But basically, so Amelia, literally every night, she has been writing not only in her journal, but a letter to her fathers. And she's telling them everything, like all details. Like she's not leaving anything out. So every night she has one. And the most recent one, she literally just wrote about like this fantastic opportunity about this train that she's been riding, and it's the first of its kind. So like we should really grab this opportunity and try and sponsor them. So she's trying
Sales
to like
pitching
kind
it,
of
yeah.
and just saying like perhaps you could send someone down to the high engineers table in Storysill to make sure things are settled properly. Like she's basically putting that. But yeah, she's been telling him everything, and so it'll be a pretty big envelope of letters. But I don't know how much that'll cost. Send up there. But it's going directly to Krimveld, which is pretty far.
Yep. So it'll take a bit.
Mine would be a parcel. Like, so I'm sending some money with mine.
Aww.
And so with some instructions to a particular person that I'm sure you know of, Kevin.
Mhm.
I'm sure.
I'm
Amelia's also gonna
I'm
put like.
pretty
she's
sure
gonna
I know
addendum
which
a
one, but
PS.
it could be one of two.
It's the one at the very bottom of the list, the last person
One at
of
the very
interest.
bottom. Okay.
Amelia's gonna addendum at the bottom. I made my first gold all by
And I-
myself.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you whenever you want, Gavin, like the basics of what the letter is going to consist of.
All right.
You'll have to tell me
sounds
too, because
good.
I know what it says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eh?
So yeah. So does everybody go, or are you two splitting off for a bit to go do that?
I invited them, but
Oh.
they can do what they want.
All right.
Like we're in the area, I think I'd tag along.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty close. But for those of you that don't go along, is there anything you're looking for? anything you want to do in
It
Clifftown.
would just be in the local city, right? The local town.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vivi's gonna stay behind and play the cup game with the locals.
All right.
Oh, fun!
Cosmo's gonna stay behind with him like old times.
All right.
I'll tag along with Wayne then.
With Wayne,
the gang.
and then Wayne, you're going with him to the post office and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah. So as you're there playing the cup game, the rest of you are in the post office, and as you enter post office, it's a pretty simple thing to get those sent. Just for something that far, probably about a gold to get it that far.
I'm gonna give him 2 for priority.
All right, and he'll gladly accept. And then as you're in there, you see one of the couriers, one of the actual mail runners themselves, kind of like awkwardly kind of shuffle up to the 4 of you, go up to Dante. Delivery, I guess, and he's gonna hand over an envelope.
What?
I'll grab this. I'll kind of look at you guys like,
Were you
The hell?
expecting something? I guess not.
and
Why
so yeah,
here?
of all places. Well then, yeah, I'm just gonna open it.
And as it says, as you open it, it just says, "You're hard to track down. You think you can get out of training that easily? South side of town. Midnight. Bring your weapon. Do your stretches."
Dante's got it.
And it says signed. And it says signed
Bring your weapon.
Selena.
Dante's
All
got
right.
dancing
Selena
characters.
Gomez.
And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Nice.
Oh
Oh.
man.
So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for those of us that stuck through us for the whole thing. And then I gotta say, since the last one that we don't think we went through the follows, but thank you so much for the last 4 follows were Aminda Freya, thank you. Asexual Nerd, also thank you. Protocraft Casey, thank you for the follow as well as Patrick W3D. All of y'all are super great. We really appreciate the support.
I just have to say,
it means a lot to
asexual
us.
nerd, or is it a sexual nerd?
Yeah.
Either one, it's amazing.
Yeah,
You know what?
Me and Andrew have been having this
Mystery
debate
is
for
the
like
fun
the
part.
last week, trying to figure out which one's funnier.
I love them both.
Yeah, but once again, we have our Patreon, and the Patreon benefits are up on there. You'll get for the $1 one, you'll get access to certain Discord things, as well as shout outs in or part of the credits in some of the videos and stuff that we make. And then if you do the $5 tier, then you'll get actual verbal. We'll actually go and list your names within the videos, or I will. And we'll also even more exclusive Discord channels, as well as eventually access to exclusive merch specifically for our adventurers tier and above. So love to, but even if you don't do that, we appreciate all the support. It means so much to all of us. Love all y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see you all later.
Happy Halloween.
Yep, happy Halloween.
Happy
Happy
Halloween.
Bye-bye.
No.
Bye.
Bye.